Hi everyone. What are these? These are boxes. How many boxes are there here? How many? Well, there are two boxes. One box, two boxes. There are two boxes here. What is inside of these boxes? What is in these boxes? Well, let's shake one of them. Oh, do you hear that sound? If I shake it, there's a sound. It sounds like there are many little things inside the box. Let me shake the other box. It makes the same sound. So it sounds like there are many little things, many little things inside of these boxes. So what are inside these boxes? What is inside of these boxes? Well, let's turn over these boxes and look on the other side. These boxes have food in them. These boxes have food in them. What kind of food is in these boxes? Well, it's this kind of food. This kind of food is in these boxes. This is macaroni and cheese. So this is a picture of macaroni and cheese. You can see there's a fork here, and on the fork there is some macaroni. So this is macaroni. Macaroni is a kind of pasta. Just like spaghetti is a kind of pasta, and linguine is a kind of pasta, fettuccine is a kind of pasta. So those are all kinds of pasta. So macaroni is a kind of pasta too. So these are pieces of macaroni. They are macaroni noodles or pieces of macaroni. So here is a piece of macaroni. Here's a piece of macaroni. You can see they're kind of curved. They're curved like this. They have this kind of shape, a curve to them. So these are pieces of macaroni. And on the macaroni, there is this sauce. So this is the cheese sauce. You can see there's some sauce. It's dripping from the macaroni. So this sauce is yellow or orange. Just like this part is yellow, this part is orange. So this sauce is yellow or orange. So that is the cheese sauce. So this is macaroni and cheese. This is macaroni and cheese. It says here macaroni and cheese. So this pasta is macaroni and it has cheese sauce on it. So this inside of this box, in this box, that's the dry macaroni. So that's the macaroni inside of this box. You can hear it. If you shake it, if I shake it like this, you can hear the sound of the macaroni, the dry macaroni. So this is macaroni and cheese. And this kind of macaroni and cheese is called Kraft dinner, or KD, KD for short. KD stands for Kraft dinner. So this is a kind of macaroni and cheese, and it is made in Canada. There's a maple leaf there. So just like the Canadian flag has a maple leaf, there's a maple leaf here to show that it is prepared in Canada. And it says here prepared in Canada. So these are boxes of macaroni and cheese. This kind of macaroni and cheese is called Kraft dinner, or KD for short, KD. So this is a kind of macaroni and cheese, and this kind of macaroni and cheese is popular in Canada. This was made in Canada. So there's the maple leaf. The maple leaf is a symbol of Canada. The maple leaf is on the Canadian flag. So this was made in Canada. And you can see here, let's look at just this box. So you can see here, there are words on the box in two languages. There are two languages. So there's English and there's French. On this side, it says something in English, and on this side, it says something in French. Here, this says something in English, and then it says the same thing in French here. So this box has English and French. On this side, there are instructions on how to make the macaroni and cheese. These instructions are in English. And on the other side, on this side, there are instructions in French. So this box has English and it has French. And the same here, the list of ingredients are in English and also in French. So why? Why is there both English and French on this box? Why are there two languages on this box? Why are there two languages on this box? Well, this macaroni and cheese was made in Canada, and in Canada, there are two official languages. There are two main languages spoken. So here's a map of Canada. So this was made in Canada. And in Canada, in most of Canada, in most provinces in Canada, most people speak English. But in some parts of Canada, especially Quebec, in the province of Quebec in Canada, most people speak French. So this is a map of Canada, and these are provinces of Canada. For example, I live in Ontario. Ontario is a province in Canada. And in most of these provinces and these territories of Canada, most people speak English, but in Quebec, in the province of Quebec, most people speak French. So in Quebec, most people speak French, but in the rest of Canada, most people speak English. So Canada has two official languages, two main languages. Most people speak English, for example, in Ontario and in other provinces in Canada, but in Quebec, most people speak French. So in Canada, many people speak English, but there are also many people who speak French. So on products, on boxes, on things like this box of macaroni and cheese, this box of Kraft dinner, this box has both English on it for people who speak English, like people in Ontario. Most people in Ontario speak English, and it has French for people such as people in Quebec, most people in Quebec who speak French. So there are two languages on the box. There's English for English speakers, there's instructions in English for people who speak English mainly, and there are instructions in French and information in French for people who speak French. So this box and many other boxes, many things that are sold in Canada have both English and French, two languages on them, both English and French on them. So let's take a look at the box here. Let's look at the back of the box. Here's the back of the box. So here's the front, and here's the back of the box. And on the back of the box, on the top here, it lists the ingredients. So what things were used to make macaroni and cheese? So the main ingredient is pasta. So this is macaroni. Macaroni is a kind of pasta. And it says that the pasta, the macaroni, is made from wheat. It was made from wheat. And then there's cheese sauce. So this is the cheese sauce there. And the cheese sauce was made with dried whey, which comes from milk. And then there's also cheese and salt and butter in the cheese sauce. So the dried whey, which comes from milk, and then cheddar cheese. Cheddar cheese is orange, so you can see the sauce is very orange there. So that comes from cheddar cheese. And then salt and butter, those things are in the cheese sauce. And then there are other flavors and other things. So those are the ingredients. This is the list of ingredients in English, and this is the list of ingredients in French. And then here, this box here, this part of the box shows nutrition information. So this lists different nutrition information. For example, how many calories are in this macaroni and cheese? How many calories does it have? So this box has, it says here, there is 225 grams of macaroni and cheese. The weight is, let me write it down here. The weight is 225 grams. So this box has 225 grams of macaroni and cheese. Then it says that in 1/4 of the box, 1/4 of 225 grams is about 56 grams. So 1/4 of the box, 1/4 of it is about 56 grams. In 1/4 of the box, or 56 grams, it has about 210 calories. And then it tells about the amounts of things like fat and carbohydrates and protein. So it says in 1/4 of a box, or 56 grams of this macaroni and cheese, there's 2 grams of fat. 2 grams of fat, there's 7 grams of protein, and there's 40 grams of carbohydrates. So these are nutrition facts. This tells us what is in the macaroni and cheese. So there's the ingredients, and then how many of these different vitamins and nutrients are in macaroni and cheese. And then on the bottom of the box, let me put this aside, on the bottom of the box there's a barcode here. There's a barcode on the bottom of the box. So at the grocery store or at the supermarket, they often scan barcodes. They have a scanner that goes beep, beep, or a scanner that they pass it over to scan this barcode so you can quickly pay for it. So there's the barcode. There's a QR code. I'm not sure what the QR code is for. And then this says that this carton is recycled. There's a recycling symbol. So that means, it says here, this carton is made with 100% recycled fibers. So this carton, this kind of box, we can call it a carton. This carton uses recycled material. It says 100% recycled material. There's a recycling symbol there. So on the bottom here, there's a barcode, a QR code, and a recycling symbol. Then on the top, it just says KD again, original. So this is the original kind. There's the Kraft logo. So the company that makes this is Kraft. That's the brand. Then let's look at the sides of the box. Here are the sides of the box. And the sides of the box, this on the side of the box is the best before date. So the best before date here is December 25th of this year, of 2020. So it says best before December 25th, 2020. And what that means, what the best before date means, let me erase this here. Just erase that. And best before means that, today the year is 2020, and it's October, the 10th month. It's October the 17th. So today is October 17th of 2020, and this is the best before date. The best before date is also this year, 2020, but in December, the 12th month, the last month of 2020, December 25th. So that's Christmas Day. Christmas Day is December 25th. So best before means from today until the best before date, that's when this is best. So it's best to use this before December 25th, 2020. After December 25th of this year, of 2020, maybe it won't be so good. So after this date, after December 25th, it might not be as good as it is now. And eventually, maybe after a long time, maybe after a few years, 2021, 22, 23, 24, at some point, it will maybe not be good to use. So it's best to use it between now and December 25th. So that's the best before date. It's best before this date, December 25th, 2020. So this means that someone should use this before December 25th. Maybe after December 25th, it will still be okay, but not as good. And then eventually it might not be good anymore. It will be best to use before December 25th. It might still be okay after, but probably not as good as before December 25th. So that's the best before date. It's best before December 25th of this year. And then here are the instructions. So now let me erase this, and let's look at the instructions or directions that tell us how to make this macaroni and cheese. So these instructions tell us how to make the macaroni and cheese. These are the directions or instructions. These directions are in English, and on the other side, again, the directions are in French on this side. So these are directions in French about how to make this, and these are the same directions but in English. So we're speaking English here, so we want to look at the English directions. And there are two main ways that you can make this, or two ways that it gives us directions for. So you can make macaroni and cheese. You can prepare this macaroni and cheese using the microwave here. let me focus that. So you can prepare it using a microwave, or you can prepare it using a stovetop, the top of a stove. So this is the stovetop. There's the oven, there's the stovetop there. So you can make this using a microwave, or you can make this using a stovetop on the top of the stove, like that, on the stovetop. And so let's look at the microwave directions. How would we make this in the microwave? So it says to empty the pasta, empty the macaroni into the bowl here, into a microwavable bowl, a bowl that you can put into the microwave, and then microwave it for 8 to 9 minutes. So 8 or 9 minutes, and then add some margarine and skim milk. Add some margarine and skim milk to the cheese sauce mix, and then mix it all together. Mix well. Mix the cheese sauce and the macaroni together. So mix the macaroni and cheese together. So those are the microwave directions, and then here are the stovetop directions. So the stovetop directions are boil 6 cups of water, then add the pasta into a saucepan or a pot that goes on top of the stove, and cook it for 7 to 8 minutes, or until it's soft or tender. Then drain it out, pour it into a strainer or colander like this, drain the water out, and then add margarine and skim milk to the cheese sauce mix, and then mix it together. Mix the cheese sauce together and the macaroni together. And it says it makes 4 servings, so this serves 4 people. So that means this box has 225 grams. It has 225 grams, and then that means that it will serve 4 people. So this is supposed to be enough for 4 people, 4 servings. So each serving is 1/4 of the box, 1/4 of the box, 1/4 of the box, 1/4 of the box. So 4 people would get 1/4 of the box each, or about 56 grams. So 56 grams for each person, 56 grams for each person. So that's considered 1 serving here. So it says each serving has, on the nutrition information here, it says each serving has 210 calories. So each person would eat that much and they would get 210 calories. Or with the milk and butter or margarine, 240 calories. So this is supposed to make 4 servings. So 1 serving for 4 people each, if each person has 1/4 of the box. So those are the servings, and let me erase that. And so let's look at how to make this. So again, there are 2 ways to make this. We can make it in the microwave, or we can make it on the stovetop. And I'm going to use the stovetop. So the directions here are first to take 6 cups of water. So 6 cups of water, and put it into a pot or saucepan. So we need 6 cups of water. So 6 cups is 1.5 liters of water. And so we put 6 cups of water into the pot. There's 6 cups of water. And then it says boil the water first. So we want to boil the water. So boil the water. And then when the water is boiling, add the pasta. So add the macaroni pasta to the water. There's the box with the pieces of macaroni. So we want to add that to the boiling water, to the water that's boiling. And then when it's in the water like that, then cook it on the stove. Here's the element of the stove. So it's very, very hot. So it's very hot. It's boiling. And it says cook it for 7 to 8 minutes on the stove. So from 7 to 8 minutes. So until it's tender. So right now, you can hear that it's hard. You can hear the pieces are hard. But when it's in the boiling water for 7 to 8 minutes, the pieces should become softer or tender, so kind of soft. But you want them to be tender, not too soft, just soft enough. And it says to stir it occasionally. So stir it sometimes, stir it around sometimes. And then after that, after 7 or 8 minutes, then we need to drain the water out. So you can use something like a colander, something with holes here. There's many holes. And take the pot and pour the macaroni and the water into this this colander or something like that with holes. The water will go through the holes, but the macaroni will stay in here. So that way we can drain all the water out. So there's the saucepan or pot, and we've drained it out, and then we take this colander and we put it back. We put the macaroni back into the saucepan. And now it's drained, so there's no water. The water has been drained, goes down the sink or wherever. So we've drained the water out. And then after that, it says to step 3 here. So that's step 1 is boil the water, cook the pasta. Step 2 is drain the water. And then step 3 is to add margarine, add 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon is 15 milliliters of margarine, or we could also use butter, so margarine or butter. And then 1/3 of a cup of milk. So 1/3 of a cup of milk. So margarine and milk to the cheese sauce mix. So inside there's a packet of the cheese sauce mix. So there's the cheese sauce mix, and we add those into the pot. So into the pot we put the cheese sauce mix, empty the cheese sauce mix into the pot, then add the margarine or butter, and add the skim milk, 1/3 of a cup of skim milk. So that's 1/3 of a cup. 1/3 of a cup is about 1/3 of 250 milliliters. What's 1/3 of 250 milliliters? That would be about 80 milliliters. A bit more than 80 milliliters of milk. So here we mix everything together. So there's the macaroni, the cooked macaroni is in there. Then we add the cheese sauce and the butter or margarine and the milk. So then we mix them all together. So stir it all together, mix the macaroni, the cooked macaroni and the cheese sauce and the butter or margarine and the milk, mix them all together, and then it is ready. So step 4 is mix them all together, mix them well together, and then we can eat it. So those are the steps to making macaroni and cheese using the stovetop. So now that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this box of macaroni and cheese and go to the kitchen and make this macaroni and cheese using these directions. So I will follow these directions and make the macaroni and cheese. Okay, so now I am in the kitchen, and here I have the things that I need to make the macaroni and cheese. So of course I have the box of macaroni and cheese here, the box of Kraft dinner, and then I have the other ingredients I need. So here is a tub of butter. It says on here to use margarine, but I'm going to use butter instead. So this is butter. Margarine is made with oil, but butter is made from milk. So butter is made from milk. And then this is the milk I'm going to use. This is a jug of milk. And on here it says to use skim milk, but this is 2% milk, so it's partly skimmed milk. Skimmed milk would be 0% fat, but this is 2% milk. So this is a jug of partly skimmed milk. So I'm going to use butter instead of margarine and 2% partly skimmed milk instead of skim milk. So there's the butter, there's the milk, and there's the Kraft dinner, the macaroni, and the cheese mix, the cheese sauce mix. And then here are the utensils and things that I need. So here's a spatula, so I can use the spatula to stir all these things together, to stir everything together. And then here is a measuring cup. So this cup will measure out 1/3 of a cup, or about 80 milliliters. It says 1/3 of a cup. So that's the measuring cup for the milk, for 1/3 of a cup of milk. So I will put the milk in this measuring cup, measure 1/3 of a cup of milk. And these are measuring spoons, so I will use the tablespoon here. This is the tablespoon. So we need 1 tablespoon. There it says 1 tablespoon or 15 milliliters. And we need 1 tablespoon of butter. So I will use this to measure 1 tablespoon of butter. And then here is another measuring container. So this is a glass measuring cup. So this will measure 1 cup or 250 milliliters. So I need 6 cups. 6 cups is 1,500 milliliters or 1.5 liters. So I will measure out 6 cups of water and put it into this saucepan. So here's the saucepan, and this is the stovetop. So the saucepan goes on this element on the stovetop, and then I will turn on the stove and heat it up. So first I will get water. So I will get 6 cups of water. Okay, so first I will get the water. So I have a jug of water here, and I will pour 6 cups of water. So there I'm pouring 1 cup of water. And I'll take the lid off of this saucepan and add 1 cup of water. And pour another cup, 2 cups of water. There I'm pouring another cup, 2 cups of water. There's 2 cups of water, and I'll pour a 3rd cup of water. I'm pouring another cup. There's a little more. That's okay. There's 3 cups of water there. And then here's 4 cups of water. Pouring another cup. There's 4 cups of water. Oh, this is empty. I need to get some more water. So there's 4 cups of water. Let me get some more water. Okay, so I've got some more water here, and I'll pour a 5th cup of water. So there's 5 cups of water. There's another cup of water, and I'll pour it in. But, oh, there's a problem here. This is almost full. So there are 4 cups. There are 4 cups of water in here, but it's almost full. So this can't hold 6 cups of water. So I need to use a bigger pan or pot. So instead of this saucepan, I will move that, and I will get this pot here. So I will use this pot instead. So this cannot hold 6 cups of water, but this can hold 6 cups of water. So I'll take the lid off of this pot, and I will add these 4 cups of water. I'll pour it from the saucepan into this pot. So pour it all into the pot like that. And then I'll add another cup. So there's another cup, 5 cups, and I'll pour 1 more cup. Pour 1 more cup here. And I need a little bit more water there. So I'll pour 1 more cup. Pour 1 more cup, and there's another cup, and I'll add this cup. And there's 6 cups of water in this pot. So there's 6 cups of water. And now I can turn on the stove. So now I will turn on the stove top here. So I'll press power here, press the power button to turn it on. There, it's on now. And then I have to turn this element on. So this pot is on this element, and this is the upper right element. Oh, let me press the power button again. Turn it on. Now I'll press the on button for the top right element. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I turned it all the way up to 9. Oh, that's the highest. It can't go any higher than 9. And so now it is on, and oh, you can see it's red or purple here. So it's starting to heat up. I'll put the pot on the element, and then I'll put the lid on the pot like that. So there, the lid is on the pot, and now the water can boil. So now the water is heating up, and soon the water will boil. Let's see, how long will it take to boil? How long will that take to boil? Let me set a timer here, see how long it takes to boil. So I've set a timer there. So let's see, how long will it take to boil? Okay, so while we're waiting for this to heat up to a boil, I will open up this box of Kraft dinner, of macaroni and cheese, so we can look inside. So I will open up from this part. It says press in. So let's see. Press in and tear back top, it says. So I'll try to press my thumb in there. So let me try this way. Let me try again. Push down on it like this. Oh, there. My thumb went into the box. So now I'll tear the top back, tear it back, tear the top back like this. There. Now it's open. Okay, so now let's look inside. What is in the box? Well, you can see in the box is this packet of cheese mix. So this is the cheese sauce mix. So I will put that with the butter and with the milk. So we need to add these after to the macaroni. And then in here is the macaroni. Let me pour out a few pieces of macaroni. There's some pieces of macaroni. There's 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, 5 pieces, 6 pieces. So there's some pieces of macaroni here. And right now, these pieces of macaroni are hard. So they're hard right now. So when we put them in the pot, when I put them into the pot and boil it for 7 or 8 minutes, then they will become soft. So right now, they are hard like that. But when they boil, I want them to cook and become tender in the pot. So right now they're hard like this. But when the water is boiling and I put them into the water and I cook them for 7 or 8 minutes, then they will be soft, they will be tender. So they will not be hard anymore. They will not be hard like this. They will be soft and tender. So soft, but not too soft. So I'm just waiting for this to boil now. So let's wait a few more minutes. So how long has it been now? It's been almost 4 minutes. Yeah, it's been about 4 minutes now. So we're still just waiting for it to boil. So we'll wait. Okay, so now it's been more than 10 minutes and it hasn't boiled yet, but there's, oh, you can see there's steam rising from there. And so it's steaming, but it's not boiling yet. So I'll put the lid back on and wait a few more minutes. So it should boil soon. It should be boiling soon. Okay, and now it's 11.5 minutes. So more than 11 minutes have passed, almost 12 minutes. And now it is boiling. So now the water is boiling. So the water is boiling now. There's the water is boiling, and there's steam rising. There's steam coming up from the water. I can feel the steam, it's very hot. Ouch! So the steam is rising and the water is boiling. So now that the water is boiling, I can take the macaroni, the dry macaroni, and I'll add it to the pot. I'll pour all of the macaroni into the pot. I'll get the last piece out there. There it is. Shake the box. Okay, so now the box is empty. The box is empty, and now it will boil. So now I will set a timer for 7 or 8 minutes. So I've set a timer for 8 minutes here. So now I'll wait 7 or 8 minutes. So now it is boiling. So now the macaroni is in there, and I'll just stir it a bit. Just stir it so it doesn't stick to the bottom. So I'm just stirring everything. So I'll stir it around, and then I'll leave it like that. So just stir it a bit more and then leave it for a few minutes, and I'll put the lid back on the pot. Okay, so now it's boiling, and I'll leave it to boil. So it's boiling there. Oh, it's starting to boil over, so I better take it off. Oh, look, it's boiling over there. So it's boiling over. So I think I can turn down the heat now a bit. I'll turn the heat down to maybe 4 or 3. Just leave it on there. Some of it spilled over. So it boiled over there, the water, and oh, yeah, it's still boiling over. So I'll just leave it like that for a minute. Maybe turn it down to 1 here, and then just leave it like that. So now it shouldn't be as hot. Maybe I'll take the lid off and I'll stir it again. So I'll stir it another time. Stir it again here. And okay, Okay, I'll leave it for a few more minutes. Okay, so now it's at 3, so it's at a lower setting. And then I've taken the lid off there. Ouch, the lid is hot. So now it's just boiling a little bit. Maybe I can turn it up now. So it's boiling, but it's not boiling over. So I'll stir it again. There, stir the macaroni around in the water. And give it a few more minutes. Let's see, maybe I can see, how is the macaroni now? Maybe I can see how soft it is. So I'll take a piece out. There's a piece of macaroni, and ouch, that's hot. Let's see how it is. Ouch. So now it's not as hard. It feels softer. Yeah, it's softer. So I ate it there, and I could eat it, so it's soft. It's not hard, but I want it to be a little softer. So I'll cook it for another minute or two, a few more minutes. 2 or 3 more minutes. Just put the lid back on there, and soon it should be done. Okay, so now it's been 8 minutes. So now maybe I'll give it a little bit more time, and then I can drain it. So let me turn off the timer. It's been 8 minutes, so that was 8 minutes on the timer. So now maybe I'll just leave it for a little bit more. I'll just stir it. There, so now there's the pasta. Let me take out a piece now and see if it's soft. Let me take out a piece of macaroni there. So now let's see. Ouch, oh, it's hot. But now it's pretty soft. So now it's soft enough. Yeah, I don't want it any softer. So I'll turn off the heat here and turn off the stovetop. And now I can drain this. So now I will drain the water. So I will take the lid, and this lid has holes here. This lid has many holes on it. So it has holes there. And so what I can do is I can put the lid on. I'll use it has small holes there. And on this side, it has big holes. So there are big holes and there are small holes. So I'll use the small holes. I'll put the lid on there. And now on this side by the spout here, there's the small holes. So now I can use this to drain the water. So I'm going to drain the water in the sink. So I'll take the pot by the handle here and I'll go over to the sink. Okay, so I'm over at the sink here and I'm going to drain this. I'm going to pour the water into the sink. There, so see the water's hot, it's steaming, there's lots of steam coming up there. So let me pour it all into the sink. Okay, so I'll pour it into the sink, pour the water out into the sink. There's the water, there's lots of steam there. The steam feels very hot. And I'll pour the rest of it, pour the water out into the sink. And there, the water is in the sink. So it's going down the drain. There, the water has gone down the drain. And there in the pot here, let me come back over here. Okay, so I'll put the pot back onto the stovetop here and put it down here and take the lid off. Oh, there's some macaroni stuck to the top there. So I'll just maybe scrape that off. And there. So there's the macaroni and the water is gone, but the macaroni is still hot. It's steaming. There's steam coming up. There's steam rising from it, so it's hot. And now what I can do is I can add these things. I can add the cheese mix, the cheese sauce mix. I can add the cheese sauce mix. I can add the butter, and I can add the milk to it. So now I'm going to add these things. I'm going to add these things to the macaroni to make macaroni and cheese. So first I will take the butter. I will take this tub of butter. So I'll take the lid off of this tub of butter, and I will take the measuring spoon. There's the measuring spoon. And I will take, it's pretty soft there, so I can take a tablespoon of butter. So let me get a tablespoon of butter from here. So there, that's about 1 tablespoon of butter. And now I'll add the tablespoon of butter let me just stir it in there so it can melt. The butter is very hot in there, so I can just stir it in and it should come off there. There, it came off of the measuring spoon. So there's 1 tablespoon of butter in there and it's melting. So the butter is melting there. It's very hot, so it's melting. And if I stir it around, it will melt into the macaroni. So I'll just stir the butter and the macaroni together, and it's all mixing together. So there, the butter is melting. There, it's almost all melted away. So the butter has melted into there. And now I will add the milk. So I'll take this partly skimmed milk, this 2% milk. I'll take the lid off the top, unscrew the lid here. And then I will pour 1/3 of a cup of milk. So I'll pour 1/3 of a cup of milk here, there. And I will add the 1/3 of a cup of milk to the macaroni and butter. There, just pour in the milk, pour the milk into the pot, and then I will mix that around. So I'll mix the milk with the melted butter and the macaroni together. So there, that's mixed together. And then next, I will add the cheese mix, or last, that's the last ingredient. So there's the cheese sauce mix. So I will tear the top off here. Okay, so there, I will tear this part off. Tear the top off of this package. And okay, there, I've torn the top off there, so now it's open. You can see there's the powder inside. There's this orange powder, that's the cheese sauce mix. So there's this orange powder. So there's some orange powder inside, so that's the cheese sauce mix. And I will pour the cheese sauce mix into the pot. Add it to the macaroni and the butter and the milk. There, shake the packet and get the last bit of powder out. So there, it's very orange. There's so that's the cheese sauce mix powder. That's the cheese sauce mix powder. It's this orange powder. It's very orange. It smells like cheese. So that's the cheese sauce mix. Now I will stir it in. So I will stir it in here and stir it around until it's all mixed together. Just keep stirring it. Stir it a little bit more. Stir, stir, stir. Stir with this spatula. And there, it's all mixed together. Just scrape it off the sides here. Scrape the mixture off of the sides and finish mixing it together. There, so that's the macaroni and cheese. So there's a pot of macaroni and cheese. Let me taste it. Let me take a little bit here with the spatula and try it. That tastes delicious. So it's pretty hot and not too hot, and it's soft now, but not too soft. So it's not hard anymore. The macaroni is not hard, it's cooked now, and it's soft but not too soft, and it's hot but not too hot, and it tastes very good. It's delicious. So that is macaroni and cheese. So I will take some macaroni and cheese from here and put it in a bowl. There, so I've taken some of the macaroni and cheese and I've put it into this bowl. And here is a fork. So here's my fork. Here is the bowl. There's the macaroni and cheese in the bowl. And I can take some on the fork here and I'll eat it. That tastes really good. And there is how it looks on the box. So there's the box. There's the picture on the box. There's macaroni and cheese on a fork. So here's how it looks on a fork. Here's what I made. And does it look like the picture? Yeah, I think it looks pretty close. They look very similar. Here, the macaroni looks a bit bigger. These pieces of macaroni they look a little bit bigger, but it looks like there's more macaroni here. So they look very similar, and it tastes delicious. It tastes really good. I'm hungry. Okay, so there's my bowl of macaroni and cheese, And some people add things. Some people add other things to their macaroni and cheese. For example, some people add tuna. Here's a can of tuna. This is a can of tuna fish. So some people add tuna or things like that to their macaroni and cheese. But I'm not going to add tuna, but I am going to add ketchup. Here's a bottle of ketchup. So many people like to add ketchup, so I will add ketchup to my macaroni and cheese. So I'll open the lid on this bottle of ketchup, and ketchup is made with tomatoes. So this is ketchup. Ketchup is made from tomatoes and other ingredients, but mainly tomatoes. So I will pour some ketchup. I will add some ketchup. I will squeeze the bottle and squeeze some ketchup onto my macaroni and cheese. There's some ketchup. I'll add a little bit more ketchup, add a little bit more there, and see how it tastes. How does it taste? Let me taste the macaroni and cheese with the ketchup. That tastes good too. So I like macaroni and cheese by itself, but I also like macaroni and cheese with ketchup, like this. Hi again, everyone. So this is how I made the Kraft dinner, or the macaroni and cheese that I made. So I followed the stovetop directions on here. I made it on a stovetop. So first, to make it on the stove, I needed 6 cups of water. So 6 cups of water is 1,500 milliliters, or 1.5 liters of water, 1.5 liters. So I was going to use the saucepan, but the saucepan was not big enough for 6 cups of water. So I did not use the saucepan. Instead, I used a pot. So I put the 6 cups of water into this pot, and then I turned on the stove. So I turned on this element on the stove, and it heated up the water. And so I heated it up until it was boiling. I heated it up to a boil, and that took about 11 or 12 minutes. So I had the pot of water on the stove with the element on, heating it up for 11 or 12 minutes, and then after 11 or 12 minutes, about 11 minutes and 30 seconds, then the water was boiling. So once the water was boiling, I added the box of macaroni. So I took the box of macaroni, and I added the macaroni to the boiling water. And then I let it cook on the stovetop. I turned the heat down a bit, but I had it cook there for about 8 minutes. So the macaroni cooked in the hot water on the stove for about 8 minutes. So the water was boiling for about 8 minutes, and the macaroni was cooking in there. And then after about 8 minutes, I then drained it. So the lid has little holes in it. So I put the lid on the pot, and I drained all the water out of the pot. So the macaroni stayed in the pot, but the water poured out through these holes. It went out through these holes into the sink, and then it went down the drain. So I drained the water from the macaroni. So there's the cooked macaroni, and then I added the other ingredients. So I added the other ingredients to make the cheese sauce. So I added the cheese sauce mix, this packet of cheese sauce mix, to the macaroni. But first I added the butter. So I added a tablespoon of butter, and I stirred it in to the macaroni, and it melted. Then I added the 1/3 of a cup of milk to the macaroni, and I stirred that in. And then I added the cheese sauce mix, that orange powder. I added all of that cheese sauce mix to the macaroni, and I stirred it all together. And then the macaroni was ready to eat. So then once it was ready to eat, I put some in a bowl. And many people like to add things to the macaroni. So some people like to add tuna or tuna fish to the macaroni, but I did not add tuna. I had a can of tuna, but I did not add it to the macaroni. But many people like to add ketchup. Ketchup is made with tomatoes. Many people like to add ketchup to their macaroni and cheese. So I added ketchup to the macaroni and cheese. And I ate it using a fork, and it tasted very good. It was very delicious. And so I've eaten a lot of the macaroni. So now this pot is empty now, and I'm on my last bowl. So here is another bowl. I took another bowl, and I've been eating this bowl. So I was very hungry, so I've eaten almost all of the macaroni here. So that is how I made my macaroni and cheese. And now, because I'm very hungry, I'm going to eat the rest of this macaroni and cheese. Delicious. Hi again, everyone. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked this video, please click or press the like button to like it. And please click or press the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel. Also, click or press the bell to see new videos like this one. Also, please share this channel with other people who you think will like it too.